So one have to be in good terms with one's ARỌBINAGU. If you are an Obanje, you have to have your own personal ARỌBINAGU, so that everything you do will go well, especially if you are called to serve and you have channeled it as an Ezenwai. It is very, very important that one has personal relationship with ARỌBINAGU. Now, there are different kinds of Obanje group. You remember I told you that Obanje is a group, or what is called Ndị Otu. Ndị Otu means it connotes friends or relations of Obanje spirit that reincarnated. They seek for their sister or friend back to their former world, which results to drawback for an Obanje. They actually send messages through dreams or signs of needing some things like popcorn, Fanta sweet, biscuit toy, chewing gum, rice beans, cowries, among others. So what they actually need to do is appeasement for them to be able to survive, to live to their fullest potential on earth. That is where their EUWA comes in. You see, this EUWA has to do with their chances of survival. EUWA is what is known as oath of life. They took that oath before coming to this world. You see, there are some Obanje that have vowed that when they come to this life, that they will die before they become a year old. Some die before achieving anything. For example, getting married. You see the person get married, maybe during childbirth, the person will die and go away. Some, they gain admission to study in school. When it is on their graduation day, you see the person die. Or any major accomplishment in life. This is where their EUWA comes in. If that EUWA is identified on time, a good DB Obanje will be needed to sort this thing out. Yes, it can be sorted out through Alpha divination. Then solutions will be preferred to avert untimely death. Some vow that no man will sleep with them, or that any man that sleeps with them will be their husband. Must be their husband. Anybody that will take their virginity must be their husband. Different kinds of vows like that. It varies and it differs. Now, there is something I want to say about Obanje. Every human has good or bad in them. That is how Obanje is too. But majority will tell you that they are mainly wicked. Some will tell you that there are good ones. Even the wicked person, a wicked person has atom of kindness in him or her as an individual. A wicked person to you might be a kind person to another person. That is how life is. But in everything, we need balance. We need to balance it up. So, there are categories of Obanje. We have Obanje Enuani, like some will call it. Some Obanje Ukudala, they usually gather underneath the Odala tree. Obanje sweet, they like sweet things, like sweet chewing gum, anything sweet, Fanta. Once you just give the person sweet, the person is happy, the person is okay. And their spirits will start blessing you. There is Obanje Ochoma, that one loves making up. Obanje Okuenu, if their EUWA is tampered with, they can become flirts or prostitutes. Just doing it for doing sake, not as if it gives them pleasure or joy. There are Obanje marry and come back, as in Obanje D. They marry, divorce, remarry. They can marry up to 7 husbands, 7 different men. So if it is found out on time, the Iuwa can be repaired so that they can be able to stay with one man, and that man will really enjoy. We really enjoy the Obanje once the Iuwa has been amended. And we have Obanje Iwe na Ogu, Obanje Oshi, Obanje Ogbuegu, Obanje Ahia. This one normally they're very good in business. Even if she packages shit and sell in the market, everybody must buy. There is nothing that stays in their hands. As in when they come to the market, every commodity they have is hot cake. Yes, we have Obanje Jima, Obanje Wa, Obanje Joko under the plantain tree, Obanje Guava, Obanje Mango, Obanje Oko, Obanje Jo. This one, I don't know how to explain this, but it has to do with fear, a phobia for a lot of things. It might even be cockroach or ant, or it might even be darkness. They'll tell you, I can't go anywhere. Say, good now. Is that somebody is there? Why are you afraid? Say, I can't. Come and go with me. We have Obanje Dada, Obanje Ara, Obanje Kwakrekwa. You see, they are all categorized according to their elements. We have fire, water, earth, and air. Or some say wind. So alpha divination can also tell which group an Obanje belongs to. This is to avert the mistake of some Obanje sacrificing at the wrong spot or sacrificing wrongly with unwanted items. It is important to know that every Obanje has a spiritual spouse and family where they reincarnated from. Now, Iluolo Obanje are very, 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 very sensitive. That is why you need a good Dibia Obanje. There are Dibias that are specialized in that. And there are Dibias that Dibia Obanje specializes in digging out that Iuwa. Some of the Iuwa can be dug up and given to the Obanje so that they will stay with her. Some will not. You can either do sacrifice for the Obanje as an Aja Obonuke, so that our group people will stop disturbing. It's a very sensitive issue. If it's not done well, the Obanje might leave this earth. But if it's done well, the Obanje will stay back. Now, I don't know why people stigmatize this. It is part of Igbo spirituality. Professor Chinua Achebe of blessed memory talked about Obanje in his Things Fall Apart. For us to know, it has been in existence. It's not a new thing. And there are people who specialize in dealing with them, as in solving their problems. It's not a new phenomenon. We tend to stigmatize them in Igbo society, thinking they are very strange, that they are very bizarre in their attitude or whatnot. Some of them are shy, some are outspoken. It depends on the type. Now, most people, when their Iuwa has been repaired, they grow old, they live long. They are your brothers, they are your sisters, they are your parents. If you are opportune to hear their story, of course, they will tell you. They are your lecturers, they are your professors, they are nurses, they are doctors. There is no vocation that you can't see them doing, and they excel very well in everything they do. That is why it is not good to discriminate or stigmatize them like some ignorant people do in Igbo spirituality. Now, some say it's not something to boast of. I don't know if anybody ever boasts of that. But I'm aware that if somebody says, I am digital Obanje, the person is trying to carve out a niche for herself or himself, telling you that there is something special about her, telling you that she's an extraordinary person, telling you that she's an Ezewani. Of course, it's all about what is it called? Marketing on social media. You project yourself, and people's attention will be drawn to you. So recently, I don't know why people tend to think that it's very cool to discriminate against people. They are all human beings. They are all members of your family. If they open up, they can let you into their world, and you will share their joy, their pain, their sadness. Because most times, some of them feel out of this world. Some of them save your life. When their eyes are open, they tell you things to come. They can foretell the future. They are there for your protection. You don't treat them as nothing, or you treat them as shit, or you become afraid of them. Because if you don't understand them, that is where the problem is. Obanje is like an empath, a star seed, a light walker. They are seers, diviners. They are also professionals in different vocation. So it's not as if it's something that is devilish. I mean, once the EUWA has been amended, so you don't have to be afraid, like some other people will want to project it as something that is evil. There are differences in Obanje spiritual sacrifice. That is why I always say that a good Dibia Obanje is needed, so you will not make any mistake. And this varies according to their category. You see, an Obanje Hudala, the need is very different from what Obanje Wakrewa needs. So, if you get it right, if the diviner or the Alpha person gets it right, you have to be very, very careful to avoid repetitive spiritual sacrifice to your Ndiotu, to your Obanje group. You avoid this to prevent sacrificing wrongly when it's time to offer their Ndiotu things. For example, when I was in Celestial Church, I kept doing a lot of repetitive spiritual works, even to the extent they got tired of taking me to the river self. But where they were getting it wrongly is that they don't take me to my river of incarnation. Yes, if they had taken me there, I think once they do the spiritual work, one touch, we won't go there again to start repeating it all over and all over. And another mistake is trying to separate me from my spiritual husband. Spiritual spouse is a blessing. It's not a curse. If you know the right way to treat or to solve it. Everything has solution in Igbo spirituality. It's all about negotiation. It's all about appeasement. It's all about making peace. It's all about acknowledgement. You see, but foreign religion makes us see these things as devilish, as demonic, that they are possessed, that they need to be delivered. But if we had gotten it right in the first instance, we'll not spend all those money in church, shouting fire die, fire die. Mami water power, powerless power. Even their own Bible acknowledged it. Jesus mili. Before he started his work, he went to the river. to do what is they do what did they call it? Is it baptism by John the Baptist, who was the forerunner? What did he do there? Ọ bụla ọrụ mmiri ka ọ je ejelụ. Likewise, the same solution is applicable to an Obanje if the category of that Obanje is discovered. Obuna Obanje no, and that means the sacrifice will be on ground, not inside the water. So it's always good to avoid this, to know the difference in their spiritual sacrifice, to avoid doing repetitive works. Well, let me give you some tips according to Obanje category and element. Fire element works takes place at a shrine or road. Water element Obanje works takes place in the river or stream they come from. Like I said earlier, their river of incarnation. Then earth element Obanje work takes place in the bush, under a certain tree, like palm tree. You see that? A good Dibia Obanje will call her people to come and take whatever it is they require from her and bring out her iyo. And it will be dug out from that tree, under that tree. Then the air element Obanje works usually take place at crossroads, what is called a three-road junction or junction. Like I will always say, if you get them right through Alpha divination, you know the kind of Obanje, you know their group, you know their category. So you can do things right and avoid unnecessary spending. Because if you don't get it right, you continue to spend. Oh yeah, if some people, they've done water works. Maybe they think their own Obanje comes from water. They do it repetitively, not knowing that they have nothing to do with the water. Maybe it's on land or the road junction or inside the bush. Like I always say, if the potentials of an Obanje is not harnessed, they tend to destroy or wreck in order to have their way in life. Such are handled by a good Dibia Obanje, which is very scarce to find these days. I would like to advise parents that if they notice certain traits of Obanje in their children, the best thing is to handle it the traditional way and solve it immediately. Akpọzina afaze eje ụnụ ụka na-shout fire die, fire die, 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 die. You are aggravating the issue. You are prolonging the issue that could have been settled peacefully and quietly by a good Dibia. A Dibia is not a bad thing. A Dibia simply means an indigenous doctor, a master that can work with the elements, natural elements. I don't know why people are scared. Many parents are misguided. So you now take your child to do deliverance from there, to endanger their life and compound the problem. Listen, I want to tell you today that our forefathers were not foolish. Yes, they were not foolish during their time. They had solution for everything. It's just that civilization came, modernization and westernization. We forgot everything about us, about our identity, about our originality, about our spirituality. We want to become more white than the white. That is why simple problems like this, simple issues like this, we don't know how to handle them and get the best of results. Many parents foolishly say Obanje is as a result of sickle cell anemia. But it is not. You don't confuse the two. So I'm saying during the olden days that girl that has the Obanje spirit, that she must have been a sickle cell patient. Let me laugh, you know. Well, it's very, very funny, but it is not. So one needs to trace one's ancestral lineage spiritually to see if yours have those deities I mentioned earlier, to avoid stories that touch. Obanje comes from spiritual lineage. Your ancestral lineage will let you know. So you avoid stories that touch. Then you have to appease your Obanje lineage and give them their demands or gifts to enable you, the Obanje, live a fulfilled life on earth. Holy Ghost fire will never solve this problem. Yes, that is what I want to say. Holy Ghost fire, shouting fire, 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 will never solve this problem. Remember, I told you that the spiritual knowledge they come from is from ARỌBINAGU Ngene, ndị ichie dada agwụ, ngwu akpụ ọjị, akwali ọmụmụ, ndị mmili. Every Obanje must be in good terms with them to succeed and progress in life. Every Obanje needs constant sacrifice on earth, else they will always face terrible challenges before they need to take care of their spirits. Because the repercussions of not doing this can result to madness, singlehood, marry and divorce, failed marriage, broken relationship. Even Mala Obanje, if it's not handled very well, you see the person go mad, will start misbehaving because they are not in good terms with their ancestral spirit. Maybe the parents ignorantly took them to church to continue screaming Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire. Ala Obanje. Some of them will be carrying toys up and down. Baby. You see, if their potentials are harnessed, like I always say, you see them, they are nurses, pharmacists, doctors, midwives, actors, teachers, prophetess. They are very good into business. That's in business. Even the sale of spiritual material. They are not only from water elements. Other elements have Obanje, like I said. They come with marks from their spiritual lineage, which is usually a connection from the spiritual world. They come to save life. So, what am I saying in essence? You should know, you parents, you should know if your child is an Obanje. There are ways you will know. At least let me tell you some signs that will make you know if your child is an Obanje. If your parents, either of your parents is an Obanje, it is likely you'll be an Obanje. If your mom or your dad went to the river to ask the sea goddess for blessing of a child, likely neighbor Obanje. If you are extremely kind and generous, if you have a way of bringing out the best in people, if you like to know people on a deeper level and you do not like to waste your time trying to maintain hundreds of shallow relationships, if you are incredibly intuitive and follow your instincts, do you always dream frequently and those dreams come true? Do people find it difficult to understand you? Do you always like to win and you feel bad when you lose? Do you have strange and mystical dreams every full moon? And are you affected positively by the full moon? Are you very creative? Do you fear rejection and like acceptance? Do you like reading people? Some of them do that. These are traits for you to know an Obanje. Some can see you and they read you like a computer. They know what you are up to. They know what you want to do. That's, we'll say they have discerning spirit. Okay, another one is this. Do you dream of snakes? Colorful snakes? Or they are in groups. Are you even afraid of snakes? Do you fall in and out of love easily? Do you sometimes experience sudden miracles in your life when you need help? You see what you need just appear in the cupboard or in your bag. Do you sometimes just love to be on your own without being interrupted? Do you so much appreciate honesty and sincerity? Do you search for your property and later find it? This happens to Obanjes. They will be looking for something they kept. And when they come to take it, they will not see it again. Obona ndi otufe welugie, wehali anya, monafa weli ezo. It's funny, but it happens. Yes, it happens. Even the way I laugh now, do you sometimes laugh like that for no reason? Do you sometimes discover that sometimes you look beautiful, then sometimes you look damn ugly? Even for the male, you look handsome. Sometimes you now look ugly too. Are you scared of swimming in the swimming pool or river? Do you sense the presence of someone with you whenever you are walking on a lonely street, road, or even when you are inside a room? Do you hear your name being called without you seeing who is calling you? Do you hear distant music or drum beating or strange sound or noise? These are the signs for you to know if you are an Obanje. If you experience these things, these questions that I'm asking, if you experience them in your life, likely you are an Obanje. Do you feel you have supernatural powers, but you don't know how to consciously make use of those powers? Do you curse people when they hurt you and it come to pass? Do you care very less of your life when you are angry? Do you talk while you are asleep? Fana lon lo na-egwu egwu na-amụ amụ ife ya dị na bed na-amụ amụ na-achị kwekwekwekwe. Ịbịa kpọtekwa anya o. Na-asị ya kedu ihe ndị gị na ha na-akpa nkata. Sị gị na ya na-alalụkwa ụla. Because they do that unconsciously. They like talking while they are asleep. Or maybe their lips will be moving while they are asleep. Sometimes, some of them, they take a strange sleeping position. Because do you dream of making love frequently to a partner you have never met? Do you dream of eating and when you wake up you are full? Because sometimes they bring food for them in the dream. Do you dream of participating in strange meetings inside the river or sea? These are signs for one to know if you are an Obanje or not. Do you dream of having a scale of a fish or that's the scale of a fish? Do you dream like sometimes you see yourself like a azu? Do you dream of finding yourself in the midst of snakes, fishes, crocodiles, or other river animals? Do you have wild dreams of masquerade? Enough more di chichi. Sometimes mama na achukwa go for another side with you. Huh? Do you also dream of seeing your body shining and radiating? Do you also dream that you see somebody teaching you things that you don't know about? Knowledge or something you may not be able to find them in books. Yeah? If you experience these things, then you know that you are an Obanje child. Yes. Because this will help you know. If you are not experiencing this, that means you are an Obanje. It is very important that you find out where you belong. If you experience all these things, because the only mistake an Obanje can make that will affect his or her entire life is to be far away from his or her spirit. Because when they are far away from their spirit, many things will take over their life, and that will make them to become useless. They will just useless their future. Because every Obanje has standby enemies that are looking for an opportunity to take over the entire life. just to make sure that all their spiritual gifts will never come to pass. Otu ifu fafa na anụ ajọ ọgụ, mana mmụọ, mana ife. Mmụọ bụ na bịa na family otu abịa inye nsogbu, fa na afụ ha. So before they can get through to that family, they must first of all pass through that ọgbanje, or if oju agbanje, or if oju bụla ọgbanje. Maka mmụọ ka ọ bụkwa. Nwa mmụọ, kala mmadụ ọkala mmụọ. If you on behalf of that family, no, you don't come close to my family. Don't come in. Don't. Aya adakwana. Unu wana alalu nuna marife na agan. It's a very strange and weird word, but it happens. So I will always advise any Obanje to be in good terms with their spirit, so they can overcome their enemies' evil plan against their life and future. Maka na ụwa bụ onye na-aga ọ na-ayọ chi ya, maka na onye ya na chi ya dị na mma, ife ọjọọ adị eme ya. It's very good. Because an Obanje is someone that comes to this world with spiritual purpose of saving lives, with the mission to help, using spiritual powers to assist people. Because some of them they walk gap teeth, open teeth. Some come with dread, dada. And this Obanje can come from a father side or mother side. Because whoever that is an Obanje, you must surely have that spiritual link from somewhere. From somewhere. You see? Coming from this kind of spiritual lineage without daily or monthly spiritual sacrifice will definitely affect the person spiritually and physically. This is something most parents fail to let their Obanje children know. I repeat again, Obanje spirit can never be cast out through deliverance. Bikonu. Don't see it as an evil spirit. When people see it as an evil spirit is when the Obanje is not in good terms with her Obanje spirit. You see those her spirit will start tormenting her. Obanje spirits, the kind of spirit that's the spirit is formidable and overpowers any spirit. They are powerful that you can hardly control it, but their words always come to pass and evil people avoid them. Because they reveal hidden, secret, deep things in the mystery of life. Because their spirit showed them spiritually. One thing I know is that for any Obanje, I will advise you that you be in good terms with your spirit, so that they will not frustrate you not to achieve anything in life. You should know your area of specialization. Don't just come to earth and frustrate your families and just die off like that. Parents, please, let's be careful. Ka anyị nebanye anya n'ime ụmụ anyị. Know if you have a gifted child. Obanje is like a gifted child that needs to be nurtured. You need to let that child know her potential and harness it to avoid problem. You need to harness it so that you caution them on the way they talk, because they can bless with their mouth, they can also wreak havoc with their mouth. That is why I say you need a good Dibia Obanje. To know them, to know the type, Fabo. You don't have to be afraid of them. That is why I love Igbo spirituality. It has solution for everything. Yes, let me say everything. What you think is so difficult, once you come back to tradition, there is always a way. Just expect or look for a good dibia. A good person that will handle the issue. A good person that is also in tune with the ancestors, with the spirit, to be able to divulge and reveal the cause, the solution. Because everything diagnosed without solution, I don't think it's going to be 100% successful. Obanje abụrụ ife a ga na-atụ egwu. They are people like you and me. You don't need to stigmatize them. You don't need to say awful things about them. You don't need to be afraid of them. You need to bring them close. Onye ọbụla ịma bụ ọgbanje jelu onye nso. They are magnetizers of good things. They attract good things. They can change your life for the good ones. Yes. If you don't believe in it, there are people that believe in it, in them, and in their spiritual ability, in their spiritual path. You need to know the kind of child that you gave birth to. Even till adulthood, they still need to go and do their spiritual sacrifice. And then you do to hand. Then you feel aja. Maja mmili, maja okporo ụzọ, maja enu ani, maja ime ọfịa, maja ukwu osisi. Yes. Because that's their source. Once they are in your family, they bring good things. And what they form. Na-egbochibido ndị ajọ mmadụ ịbịa kpamkpamkpa na that family. Some of our parents that knows, yes, and they harness their potentials. Don't be surprised when you see a father treating the daughter like as if nobody confident, or maybe almost like the wife. Back in the days there when my father was alive, because my dad, he doesn't joke with me. If I tell my dad, Dad, don't go, he doesn't go. If I tell him go, move, he does that. Because I wasn't aware that I had that ability. Even in dreams, things are revealed to them. They can even hear from using their ears. They see with their eyes. Because sometimes when the evil ones want to attack them, they shoot them. They shoot their eyes and more so that they cannot see anything. So that the enemy can come and do whatever they want and get away with it. But if you meet a formidable one, you cannot. There are some of them that if you don't know and you unknowingly you offend them, they will not be the ones to fight you. It is their people that will fight you. Like a man then that was complaining that anytime he looks for one lady's trouble, that snakes usually come to attack him. Cobra. Yes, he said he's a cobra. So when he saw the lady pass, he said, hey, I had to call him to order. I said, please don't say that. You are embarrassing this lady. Because I saw the way the lady recoiled. I had to ask him, what's your problem? He said, mistake no, because no child. Since then, nsogbu. Yes, because of her people. They are so protective of their own. Because their people protect them. That is why there are some humans that when you look for their trouble, if you don't know the spirits backing them, you will be in deeper trouble. So it's better live and let live, so that peace will reign. You don't say you should go and start looking for trouble too if you are an Obanje, because you know you have power. You want to oppress people. No. Like I said earlier, life is about balance. Be good. It's good to be good, because the universe rewards goodness, and the universe expects us to be good. You see, if they don't align with their spiritual lineage, or those spirits more so far where like I said earlier, they will be having difficulties. That is why you see some of them becoming sick. Fana ya runkanka arana maro isi na odu ya. Mana ifu abia kpo dibia Obanje, obia nenesi anya ofu ife bụ ihe ọ bụ, ama na olugokwanụ mgbe eji chụrụ ha aja. If you are just onye bad, if you are only one na edine, as if he's going to die today, we just get up from the bed. Is it not bizarre? That is why you see many of them, if they don't acknowledge their spiritual lineage, things will be difficult for them. Even many of our dibias, if they don't acknowledge them, they will not do well in their field, because their group, who are those spirits that come to reveal things? Na mmụọ niile so ya, ma mmụọ sochi ya, ma ndị mmiri ya, ma alụsịa, ọfancha. They are all the entities, the spiritual guides that work with the gifted, the master, onye a na-akpọ dibia. A dibia is also an Obanje. Enebe anya. And if you understand that not harness go the potential, and has aligned and appeased all those spirits that came to the world with them. What am I saying in essence? Our spirituality matters. Let us stop westernizing it or bringing civilization into everything. I believe we are a spiritual race. Yes, everything about us, from our way of life, from our culture, our tradition, our music, our mythology, everything about us is spiritual. We accord respect even to our ancestors, ndị ichie. That is why we have taboos. We have nsane. Things are sacred to us. We also have sacred trees, sacred waters. They have what they do in the spirit. Because I said earlier that tradition is all about veneration of natural elements. If any need Kenya, how then do you term those things demonic and evil? I just want to know. They are not. Funny bife Chukwu kere. They were all created by Chukwu Okike Abiama. So with due reverence and due respect, we should accord those respect to any Obanje that has amended her EUWA. We should not discriminate against them. We should not stigmatize them. We do so out of ignorance. And it must stop. I told you that they are very talented humans on earth. And they are mostly stars. Even though they face lots of challenges from people. They come from different elements. They are here to save lives, not to destroy. And Obanje is from a spiritual lineage. So whatever you are passing through, even if you know you are an Obanje or your parents know, your lineage should be traced. Go and know things about your roots. Because of civilization, nobody cares. If you now go for Alpha divination and they are telling you, be looking at them, I don't know. You don't know anything about your first generation, second generation, third generation, even up to the fourth. Why are you existing? But if it's something to do about foreign civilization, oh, you know it more than yours. I think we should put a stop to all that. We should really think home. Come back to our roots so that it will always favor us. Well, I hope that I have passed across a good message. And if there are any difficulties in understanding my teachings, please, you can reach me on the page, ADN Radio page. You can drop a comment there for me. You can ask your question, and I will definitely see it and reply. I do hope you enjoyed today's episode titled Who is an Obanje? Let's call it a day today. See you same time next week. Bye.